Nestled in the mountains of southern Vermont, the village of Grafton hasn't changed much in 250 years. But no one is quite as old school as Catherine Goodbody. This attorney lives in an old one-room schoolhouse. She stumbled across it while she and her late husband were looking at the 22 pristine acres around it.
We liked the location, and we liked the land, and we liked that it came with a little house on it. It was kind of unique and fun.
At just under 1,100 square feet, the home has an open living, dining, and kitchen area, a bedroom and bathroom on the first floor. The second floor loft is a large bedroom. The schoolhouse was used to educate the children of Grafton until about the 1940s, but after buying the property in the 80s, Catherine realized she was the one who didn't do her homework. It turns out the village actually owned the title to the schoolhouse. Unsure of their fate, Catherine and her late husband waited 6 months for the next town hall meeting for a village-wide vote.
We were concerned that they would not let us have the house, and then I don't know what we would have done.
Happily, the townspeople voted in their favor, and then the real work began.
It was very run down. It was just sort of a building that hadn't been maintained. The bones were here.
First, they fixed the original rock foundation, then started inside by adding a wall to define the kitchen and create a bedroom downstairs. The Goodbodies had a big family project on their hands, living in the space as they worked. Their 3 daughters slept in the small downstairs bedroom.
They were pretty crowded in there. My husband and I slept out here on a futon. So it was a big change when we did the second floor. It was really nice to suddenly have all this extra space and real beds to sleep in.
Once they built a staircase to the attic, they added new floors and then went full tilt with some sash windows. Placing windows at an angle is not uncommon in the state of Vermont. The practice comes with its share of folklore. They're sometimes called witch windows, from a superstition that witches cannot fly broomsticks through the tilted frames.
But I've also heard that they were made so you could remove a coffin without turning it too much and get the coffin out of the house.
The absolute most important element to the conversion for Catherine was preserving the original birch bark covered rafters.
I just think they're really unique, and I love the idea that they left the bark on.
In order to insulate and save the rafters, Catherine decided to literally raise the roof. They built a second one on top of the first. Other original structural elements like hand-hewn posts and the downstairs windows remain, along with a few original light fixtures, coat hooks, schoolhouse benches, and even one little pulley on a hook.
It's a complete mystery what it was used for. I like it. It came with the house.
The kitchen is made up of beadboard cabinetry, butcher block, period-appropriate hardware, and push-button light switches. With each design choice, Catherine was careful to match the character and intimate scale of the old school. Overall, the conversion went smoothly, right up until the end. After plastering and painting inside and out, they discovered the joists and sills under the house were rotten.
We then had to jack up the house and repair all that. With any old house, you run into these kinds of issues, but it all worked out fine in the end.
Now she has a peaceful retreat, but it's not simple keeping it that way.
The challenge is keeping it neat because it's so small and not cluttering it up.
For Catherine, restoring this old schoolhouse taught her the kind of lessons she could never learn in a classroom.
I'm living in a little bit of history, and I find that unique and satisfying.